Okay, so finally got the stand. Pick this tray up. Probably going to get a little bit longer one because it doesn't sit too well lengthwise. So fortunately I had a ridge here so it sits on it. There we go. So this is the Caramaku Stone. So basically all you do is splash water on it. That's it. Now the sharpening knife, a regular knife, put the stone on there, set little black line, rock it up until that black line is gone, and then swoop it across. Just like that. Nothing real high tech. Now some stones will load up on you when you're sharpening, so you just got to clean them off. What I mean by load up, this black stuff that you see, that's what I'm talking about. And you just swoop it across. And then every now and then just take some water, splash it on there. And just work it. Like so. Like I said, you want to rock it up until there's no black line where that edge is. And that's your angle. And I've already been working this morning. Like I said, this thing wouldn't even cut paper. It was so dull. So it's going to need a little bit of work. But it's got a heck of an edge on it already. So not a killer edge, but it's got one. And this is just 1,000 grit. So, you know, it still needs, like I said, some work on the edge. Especially up here. It needs a lot of work. I should have ran it on one of my coarser stones first, because that'll actually really refine the edge a lot quicker, more aggressively. And if you're worried about losing count, how many times you should do it, you can always do this, so you know you're not going to lose count. 1, 1, 2, 2. So that way you know you did 2 swipes on this side, 2 swipes on that side. You just don't lose, go to the next number until you do both sides. So this would be now 3, and then 4, and 4. So that's an easy way of doing it if you want. You know, it's whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, I need a longer one because it does want to walk a bit. So there's 5. And there's 5. 6, and 6. Like I said, this you want to take off sometimes when it gets built up really, really bad. This just wipes right off of this stone, which is kind of nice, and that's getting, every time you pass it on this stone, it gets more and more of an edge. That's why you want to be careful when using this stone, because it is really aggressive. After 4 passes when I started this morning, it already started putting an edge on it. So that's how quickly it'll start doing it, for sure. But that's why you prep with sandpaper before you start using it, to make sure that surface is nice and flat too, so you don't have that you'll feel it too. There's a film. You'll notice the difference after you get done doing that, the prepping of it. You'll feel a difference. One side's actually smoother than the other. So see, a lot of people go, oh, you need burr, you need a burr. Stupid phone. You need to put a burr on it, you need to put a burr on it. You don't really need to put a burr on your edge. That's just telling you if you're getting an edge. Because the way I'm doing it, you won't create a burr. Okay? Yeah, it's going to take a lot longer. That's the only difference, because you're aggressively going back and forth like this. Okay, but the problem is, if you go back and forth like this, which I could do, alright, you still have this part, the curvature. You can't do that with that. Okay? A straight blade, yeah, you could sit there and you could go back and forth like that. But when you have a curvature there, you have to swoop it. It's not, you're not going to get an edge right there. So it's, what you can wind up doing is having uneven sharpness. Now I am going to be getting more of these stones. Because from what I found out, people use the 5000 on straight razors, and it puts like a really nice razor's edge on it. Yes, it does require some work to do, but they'll use the Karamakus, a 320, 1000. A lot of people they skip the 2000, or they'll skip the 1000, go to 2000. Depends on your preference. Definitely, everyone always says get the 5000 and then the 12,000 stone. And the 12,000 really polishes your edge out, which will put more of an edge on it. But that's the edge right there. You can see it's nice and shiny. It's all even. So, and that's what you want. You want your edge to be nice and even. Same with if you do when you sharpen a katana. Okay, that's totally different. Swords are totally different. There are a lot of people say the difference between a katana, what makes it so unique, is it has no apex, which is true. But there's also European swords too that don't have an apex. You do not, I've seen some videos that people go, you lay it down flat, which you're supposed to do, and then work one section at a time. No. Because you can create unevenness in your blade again. If you watch traditional polishers, they always go this way with it. They lay this edge down flat like that, like I showed in my video, and they work it back and forth because you're going to sharpen that edge as you do it. I've even seen some where they will slightly kick it up just like that, which I can't. I get a thumbnail in there and they'll take the edge and pass it. It doesn't create a beveled edge, a secondary edge. Okay, just so they can refine that edge a little bit more. But never with the katana go like this, unless, like I had to do with the Murasami, it had two chips in the edge up near the top. One was deeper than the other, so you work it this way to get the chips out. But the problem is, once you do that, you want to slightly move over and do how much it took to take that out, you're going to do to the next step, because you want to keep that blade nice and even and straight. So you have to work the whole blade, which is a pain in the butt. So now I have to go back through, because you can see the unevenness of the edge. I don't have it out here right now. I wish I did. But you'll see where I had to work it, so it's not exact same. You can try all you want, but you're going to have some unevenness. That's why you go this way, or if you're sharpening, you can sharpen a katana and swoop the whole thing. That way that edge stays completely consistent the whole time. Okay? But never sharpen a katana sections at a time like that. It doesn't work that way. And you can see the stone's already drying out. But if you want to clean it, I got something like this, a paper towel. So what I do is, while it's wet, and I'll pull all that down here, hence the tray. Okay. And then there you go. Unlike if you've seen my other sharpening videos, how nasty the stone looks, I gotta take it to sandpaper. But look at that. Just pulls right off. Which is nice that this stone doesn't gunk up like it does. Because it can be a pain. Once your stone fills up with metal, it doesn't cut as good. So you want to try and keep it as clean as possible. And try and use the whole thing as much as you can, the whole stone. Reason being is you're going to keep it flatter. And you can see already cutting the metal. You can see that. All that black stuff is it refining that edge is what it's doing. So yeah, stones work. It could be meditative too. It can be therapeutic. It just takes time and patience. And every time I run this thing over it, it's getting sharper and sharper. Like I said, this thing was extremely dull. And I definitely should have ran over my I think it's a 400 I have right now. I should have ran it across that first before I took it to the 1000. The lower the number, the more aggressive the blade's going to be, or the stone's going to be for cutting. But I mean, that was what, 4 or 6 passes on each side, and look how much it's already taking off already. So if you go like this, it'll be like just black. And people go, how often should you splash water on it? If you think it needs more, splash it on there. If you think you're okay, then don't. You know, it all depends. Don't do it in direct sunlight neither with these stones, it ruins them. It will ruin them. Look at that already. It's already getting nice. Yeah, that wasn't very good. That wasn't very good. Not very good at cutting paper. You have to catch it just right with paper. There we go. Keeps folding on me. But yeah, that's all you do. That's all you got to do for sharpening fixed blades or pocket knives. It's real simple. Just put it down there, kick it up where there's no visibility of that edge, and then run it through. That's it. Real simple. Nothing high tech. Now you can get guides. I have some that has a rubber band, and what it does is you put it on the end here. You put the blade on there and it rests, so it gives you the perfect angle. You can use those, and they'll work just fine. But this Caramaku Stone is pretty damn amazing. I'm going to clean this off again. I mean, it's just amazing how well it cleans too. I mean, there's literally no crud left in the stone, which is kind of nice. My other ones, because they're not like really high-end stones, just plug up really bad, which isn't sometimes helpful when they do that. Another thing is, I changed out, so it doesn't fall in the water, my Seigyo, so it matches the handle. Kind of nice, I like it. A lot of people said, oh, it's real cheap, it frays. Tie the end off. That's all you got to do. If it's real silk, you have to tie the end off. If you don't tie the end off, even real silk is going to unravel. You have to tie it. You can either tie a knot on the end of it, or like I used actually, it's called quick stitch. It's for leather, and it has a wax coating, so when you stitch with it, it binds better and doesn't want to slip. And especially if you wrap it really tight amongst itself, it adheres to itself better. So that's always a good thing. So that's why I used on it. That way it's never going to unravel or slip off of the Seigyo. And for those of you who have cats, and you have swords, and you change out your Seigyo, of course you have to trim it. If your cat's anything like our cat, throw them the scraps of Seigyo and they'll go nuts over it. I did that last night and our cat just had a field day playing with it, which was kind of funny. So, but that's it. Get this shit off of there. That's all the stand is, and it just locks on. Like I said, I need to get a longer one so this will sit more like that, flat, which is okay for now. The bohai, or not the bohai, my custom build sword, I've got to actually refine the edge before I can cut with it. It's not very sharp, so. But that's all I have for you guys. That's the Caramaku Stone. And pretty much that's all you got to do to sharpen. A pocket knife or a hand knife is, like I said, you can see, hopefully you can see there's a little line there, and you just kick it up like that. So if you see that shiny edge facing right at you, you know you're at the right angle and there's no line underneath that edge. So that's how you do it. Like I said, really simple, really easy, and just take your time. And if you have spear point tip or whatever they call it, you definitely don't want to be just doing this, because you can't do that with that curvature right there. So you want to swoop it. But that's it. That's how you sharpen a knife. And the more higher up you go on grit, so like I'll probably take this to a 5,000 once I get it. It's going to put even a refiner edge on it. Go to 12,000. 5,000 and 12,000 will polish too. So the 12,000 is going to sharpen even more, but even take that edge and make it shine even more. So hence polishing. So you just got to keep that in mind. You can just get away with doing 1,000 and it's perfectly fine. But if you want to refine, like on a katana, the edge should be a little bit more refined. You got to take it up into higher numbers then. So there's the Caramaku, and I just let it air dry and put it away in its case. And you can use this if you want to sharpen. That's why the top and the rubber feet. But then it gets it gets really nasty, because if you do it inside like I'm doing, you want to put it in a tray so all that water is going inside it, and yeah. But you can use it as an additional holder to sharpen. So, all right, that's all I have, guys. Take it easy.